He said that Jesus Christ has risen, and he is the open door.
Well, how you doing, everyone? Welcome to this episode of the Cajun Conservative Show. I'm your host, Isaac Hayes, talking about life, talking about liberty, and talking about the pursuit of happiness, and showing the world that, yes, us Cajuns do have intelligence. Hope you're having a good day or a good week wherever you are located. Because remember, this is the day that the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. I am back, ladies and gentlemen, from the break. A lot of people may be wondering where your friendly neighborhood Cajun Conservative went to. Well, unfortunately, I had some dental work to get done, and I couldn't really talk Friday or Saturday. I could talk, but it kind of hurt. It hurt a lot. But also Sunday, I had to make a trip to Baton Rouge, and I say I had to, I really didn't, but I heard Mr. Mike Lindell, he was coming into town, and I really wanted to go hear what Mike Lindell was talking about at Jimmy Swaggart's church at Family Worship Center, and it was pretty fun, guys. We went out there, we took a few of the youth members, and he gave his testimony of how he gave his life to the Lord. I always thought Mike Lindell was saved for a few years, but I think he just, well, I'd not say a few years. He's been saved for maybe 4 or 5 years, and they gave us a free book, so got that. Need to start reading it. It's from Crack Addict to CEO by Mike Lindell. Looked like a pretty good book. I'm going to be honest with you, that is one of the most unique book covers I ever seen. It has 2 pictures on it. You'd have to look at it, and I have it right here. Might show it at the second segment. I don't want to go ahead and grab it and leave an open space right here over my shoulder. But before we start off on any topics as well, I do want to thank my good friend Barry Martin, first off, for all the kind words. I listened to it, and I appreciate your kind words, Mr. Barry, Brother Barry. I hope you're doing well. But he was here. I want to thank him for coming and helping us out at the Cajun Conservative Show. Barry has done this. I think this is the 3rd time that he has come on and hang out with LB, and LB went ahead and did the show for us. And I'm excited. And that's what you have to do, ladies and gentlemen. You have to have people that support you and that helps you in the background. We couldn't do this without anybody that listens. We couldn't do it with people saying, hey, we'll step up and we'll be guest hosts. And I really don't like missing, ladies and gentlemen. I was talking to my good friend Josh Rosenstern at Family Worship Center Sunday night, and Josh told me the same thing with his with their program on SBN. Sunlight brought what SBN is Insight, and he talks about how you have to be consistent. And I like putting on a show. When I say I'm going to put out a show, it bugs me when I come into the studio and I can't put out a video or an episode on the audio side for everyone to listen. And I just feel it's my obligation. You choose to spend a little bit of time with me every 3 or 4 days. And, I feel it's my obligation to come put an episode out so you can hear what we have to say here and hear an opinion. So, but with that being said, I want to thank, again, Barry Martin. Barry did a great job. Go check out the episode, Louisiana Republican Party's History and Governor's Race. That'll be episode 158 if you're looking for the numbers of episodes. With that being said, this is episode 159. Ladies and gentlemen, we're itching closer and closer to 200 and many more to come. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I already got the title laid out in my head for this podcast. And if you're listening, you already see it. It's that President Biden cares more about Ukraine than the American people. Why do I say that, ladies and gentlemen? Because waking up now going back, let's go back a little ways before I even continue on doing this. We have things that are happening in this nation that needs the president's attention. And look, don't get me wrong, he did a good job, I guess you could say, with the balloon. You don't hear me say that, but he also shot down some balloons from a car lot with $40,000 missiles. Just give you a heads up. And I guess you can't look. The only good thing he did about the China balloon is he shot it down. Bad thing, he let it cross all over the United States, get to the coast, and then he shot it down because of safety reasons. But ladies and gentlemen, one of the concerns the president has besides that is that a few weeks ago, we had a train derailment in East Palestine, Ohio. In a lot of these containers had hazardous materials. And somebody, I don't know who it was, but some lame dame person went ahead and said, hey, instead of cleaning up properly, let's set it on fire so it can burn the hazardous material off so everybody can get back to their homes. And what happened next? Well, you have this big cloud that comes up from the crash site, and now people can't drink water. People can't take showers. People can't stay in their homes because they're scared that there might be a chemical reaction if they're in the water or if they stay home. Some people are saying they got headaches. Some people are saying that so there's a crisis here in America, in Palestine, not to mention every other derailment that's been happening the last couple of weeks. But we have people in America that are suffering. Yes, is it a small town? Absolutely. But them Americans are not more important than any other American in this country. Do you know what President Biden did for the people of East Palestine? He turned down national disaster relief. Because according to him, this was not a national disaster. FEMA's for a national disaster. They didn't send the Red Cross in. Nothing. Now people might say, well, the Red Cross and the Salvation Army, that's all private entities. They can go in there if they want. True. But it kind of helps when you have a president that says, look, this is a disaster and we're going to do everything in our power. But to my knowledge, the president hasn't done everything in his power. Pete Buttigieg is running around. Mayor Pete is running around blaming everybody else. We're going to talk about him in the third segment. But ladies and gentlemen, we have people in America that need help from the federal government. I'm not a big government person. You know this. You know that I'm not big government. But ladies and gentlemen, the government is there to help the people in need. And people in East Palestine need help. They cannot drink water. They cannot take showers. That means they can't cook. All that stuff because they need water to do this. Now, the president, like I said, gracefully told these people from East Palestine, nope, the national disaster, no, we're not going to give you no disaster relief. We're going to help in every way, shape possible, but there's not that much help going to East Palestine. But meanwhile, ladies and gentlemen, while this stuff's going on, the president on Monday, breaking news, went to Ukraine. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. President Biden gives, I don't know who wrote this. Oh, okay. That's my correction. My writing, bad. President Biden makes surprise visit to Kyiv, Ukraine, meets with President Zelensky. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. The president of the United States in the dead of night. By the way, also told Russia, because we're going to talk about the blowhorns when a missile was coming. We're about to talk about that as well. But President Biden in the dark travels to Ukraine in the capital city of Kyiv early Monday morning in a surprise visit just ahead of the 1-year anniversary of the Russia invasion of the country. Now, these are a couple of Biden's remarks. Biden delivered remarks and met with President Zelensky at his palace in the capital to announce an additional $500 million in U.S. assets. The new assets include shells and anti-tank missiles and air surveillance radars and other aid, but no new advanced weaponry. So, ladies and gentlemen, the president of the United States can't help a little town in Ohio, but can travel on Air Force One and burn tons and tons of fossil fuel, which is bad for the environment, by the way, but we're going to talk about that at the wall. Travels halfway across the world to Ukraine and to Portland. And just to tell President Zelensky, hey, dude, I'm going to send you another $500 million. This is on top of the 100-something billion dollars that he sent already. Ladies and gentlemen, look, I didn't even get into in depth with this, but if you're not angry at this, If you're not angry at this, you need to have a reality check. You have a president of the United States flying across the world, halfway across the world, to tell a fellow president of another country, hey, I'm going to send you how much again? I'm losing my train of thought. Another $500 million to fight a war against a country that don't like him, apparently. I'm going to send you another $500 million to help you fight this war against Russia, because what Russia did was wrong. And look, if you look at the circumstances around the war in Ukraine, I would agree with the president. It's wrong. But you don't fly halfway across the world to go tell a fellow president, I'm sending you another $500 million when you have people in your country that are affected by a chemical spill of a derailment. When government officials say burn the stuff, and it's starting to contaminate water, it's starting to affect people's health. But no, I'm going to go around the world, and I'm going to go ahead and help the people of Ukraine, because they're suffering, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, they're suffering with this war. And I understand. Look, I understand these people are suffering and the world should help them. I'm not inhumane. I know that. But it looks kind of weird when you have, and I'm hitting this point home. You have a U.S. sitting president travel across the world to another country to give them aid when his own people in one little town in Ohio can't get no help. Just think about this, ladies and gentlemen. Just think about it. The president went to Ukraine to give military aid. And of course, the left-wing media loves this, ladies and gentlemen. They love it. According to Jesse Waters, they think President Biden is now up there with some of the great presidents like George Washington or Abraham Lincoln or Ronald Reagan. The president took time out of his busy schedule to go in a war zone. And there's videos flying around where President Biden is walking around. He's walking around, ladies and gentlemen, and you hear the horns in the back and telling people to hide for cover because a missile might come, when it's been proven already that we kind of advanced Russia. Hey, don't go attack Ukraine today because Biden is on the way. Just giving them a heads up, you know. Ladies and gentlemen, this president... Now, look, this president went around. I'm still flabbergasted. I remember waking up because this woke me up, literally. My phone went ding, 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 whatever the notification was, and I saw this. The president of the United States in Ukraine, and then walking around Zelensky and the media praising him. Oh, this is a historical day. President Biden went all the way across the world into a war zone to help them poor little individuals. And look, I'm not trying to mock the Ukrainian people. Please don't take that. I'm just quoting what the media is doing. But the media is praising this man. When there was no missiles coming, they put the horns on, apparently just to take the pictures. Also, another point, like I said, I'm going to quote Jesse Waters. I heard his video today. Didn't President Bush and President Obama go into Iraq in war zones? Why ain't there hold up? Ladies and gentlemen, this whole thing of him going to Ukraine and trying to show the world, not the American people, the world, that this man is a strong individual and he takes war crimes seriously, is a front. Ladies and gentlemen, people don't fear the president. The people do not fear Joe Biden. You know what they're doing with Joe Biden? They're laughing at Joe Biden. They're laughing at this man. This man is not protecting his country. And look, I said it to Craig. He wants to go show the world because he feels he's the world's president. No, you're not. You're the U.S. sitting president. Get your act together. But the world's laughing at him. Because they don't take Biden seriously. I take peanut butter and jelly more serious than the president of the United States, unfortunately. Now, with this visit, this also stirred up a lot more things. Russia suspends participation in New START nuclear treaty with U.S., Putin said. Putin said at their State of the Union, it was like a State of the Nation. Russian President Vladimir Putin announced Tuesday that Russia was pulling back from the New START treaty that with the United States, which reduced and limits each country's nuclear arsenal. In this regard, I am forced to announce today that Russia is suspending its potential participation in the strategy offense arms treaty. Putin said in his announcement addressed to the nation just one day after President Biden made a surprise visit to Ukraine. Ladies and gentlemen, this president right here jumps on a bandwagon quick. Look, I don't justify what Vladimir Putin's doing. This man is wrong. But ladies and gentlemen, when him going there, he's showing, hey, he's supporting my enemy. He ain't supporting us. Now they pull out of this treaty. Oh, Russia could start. Look, this might lead to another nuclear arms race. Ladies and gentlemen, like I said, people don't look. Putin was not sitting at his home, seeing President Biden come off a plane, goes, "Oh my goodness, President Biden's in Kyiv, Ukraine. Oh no." Hey, you know what? For you doing that, I'm going to go ahead and amp up my nuclear war heads. You think that's a sign of respect or fear? No, ladies and gentlemen. That's somebody that says that he can't push me around. Which leads to a question right here. And this is my last question. I'm going to cover his Portland visit in the next segment. But this does raise some questions. And I've been saying this for the last couple of weeks. Are we safe with President Biden at the helm? I'm asking, ladies. And look, apparently he don't care for the American people. This trip showed it. This trip right here showed that President Biden does not care for the American people. Because you have people sitting in Ohio asking for money to help them fix their water and to help them get a normal lifestyle. And the president says no to that. But the president goes halfway around the world and says, hey, I'm bringing $500 million with me and you can have it. And then telling Putin, because he also said Putin was wrong, Putin is this, and he makes all kind of comments. Now we're at risk of a nuclear battle. Well, a nuclear race. Are we safe in this country? I don't feel safe. And I'm not trying to scare people. I've been saying I'm not trying to scare the people that are listening on YouTube or the people that are listening on Spotify, Rumble, or whatever. But does Biden have the knowledge, the experience? Or the wits, let's just say it like that, to protect us in this country? I could say not. With that being said, we'll be right back. I'm going to be talking about his trip to Portland on the next day and how it's okay for them to have nice, clean energy. Oh, nice. Well, I say this. Let me leave that. They're building a nuclear plant in Portland, and the president's in favor of it. We're going to talk more about that on the other side of the break. We'll be right back after this short break. How you doing, everyone? Isaac here. I'm the Cajun Conservative, and I want to thank Brother Lanny Hayes from Hayes' Dump Truck Service for their generous support of the Cajun Conservative and Brothers Just Searching. Hayes' Dump Truck Service serves the Lafayette and surrounding areas. If you have any job that you need done, like cleanup or hauling material to your job site or your home, we haul limestone, we haul sand, we haul topsoil, any type of material you need. If you're in Lafayette and surrounding areas, please call Brother Lanny Hayes at 337-852-8043. Remember, Hayes' Dump Truck Service, where Jesus is Lord of the company.
Cleansed and made us whole. Not one hoof, not one soul.
All right, everybody, welcome back to the second segment of the Cajun Conservative Show. So Biden challenged Putin to end the war in Ukraine, threatened to ramp up sanctions against Russia. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. President Biden said, we're going to ramp up sanctions. And Putin saying, hey, we're going to go ahead and start testing nuclear weapons. And now, don't get me wrong. Those comments were made after the Biden went ahead and came back from Ukraine. That's when he was in Portland. And ladies and gentlemen, there's something, because look, he took 2 days, and this was all to show the Ukrainian people we have your back. And look, that's what all this, the trip to Ukraine, the trip to Portland, was to show the Ukrainian people we have your back. And I'm not against it. I'm not against the American government helping countries that are getting bullied. I'm not against that. We are a nation that needs to focus on democracy or the republic or whatever you want to call it. America needs to help other countries out. We should. I'm not against this. Look, I'm in favor of America helping Israel and other countries that believe like us. But this trip, right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna prove a point to you. Now, remember, this is supposed to be the most popular president of all times. Supposedly had 81 million votes, more than any president before him. Think about this. But you go to a Biden event, which there's not many. There's hardly no one there. Okay? This man was in Portland. I say Portland. Hold on. I've been saying Portland. Poland. Correction, Poland. Oh, Lord. Poland. Went to Poland and had more people cheering him on than in his own country. Look, the world loves Biden. The world does. I will say this right here. The world loves Biden. But there's a problem with this, ladies and gentlemen. When the world loves you, because you're taking the stand on them and not American values, that is a problem. Look, I've seen the videos. I wanted to see. This looked like a Trump rally when he was at Poland. It looked like a Trump rally. They had so many people, and they were all waving the Ukrainian flag. Like I said, I'm not against the president taking sides on this, because we should take Ukraine's side, because Russia is a bully, and Russia is a representation of communism, and we should stand up to them. But ladies and gentlemen, this president has gone above and beyond what any other president would have done. Especially taking time out of his busy day or his busy week, whatever you want, where we have, like I said, we have cities that are contaminated by hazardous material. We so much more stuff going on, and this president takes the time out of his busy schedule to go to Ukraine and go to Poland, just to tell the Ukrainian people. Couldn't he have done that through Skype, or make a special TV announcement? Look, I'm not the sharpest knife in the drawer, but ladies and gentlemen, and especially if you're watching on YouTube or Rumble, whatever you want, if you watch my video, I have a camera and I can look directly at it. I'm looking directly at it now. I got a microphone, I got headphones, and all that good stuff. And look, I'm going all over the world right now through audio podcasting, through YouTube, through Rumble. I'm going all over the world. I'm on the World Wide Web. You don't tell me the president of the United States has more significant, more stuff at his disposal to make a world announcement saying, Ukraine, we stand by you? You know why he didn't do that, ladies and gentlemen? Because the American people like me are getting tired of hearing more about Ukraine and Russia than our own citizens. Look, I've said this multiple times. I feel bad for the Ukrainian people. I do. It must be hell living through there. Living in that, don't know if a bomb's gonna go off. Which brings up another point. I want to go see Biden go to Israel. Because think about it, Ukraine's been dealing with this for a year. Israel's been dealing with this for decades. Because they don't know when the Palestinians are going to go ahead and throw a rocket in their backyard. Oh, Isaac, hold on. We help Israel. Yes, we help Israel. But you don't see the president running over there and telling Israel, the Jewish people, oh, we have your back. Oh, those mean Palestinians. It's just totally opposite. You have Biden running around saying the Palestinians should have a separate state. The Palestinians should have special rights. The Jewish people are stopping them from doing certain things. But he won't do that. He'll go run to Ukraine, though, and go tell the Ukrainian people, I have your back. Make a special trip on that note, going from Ukraine to Poland, going from America to Ukraine, burns tons of fuel in that big jet. I wonder if he's caring about the environment then. And look, I know I'm chasing rabbits. I'm speaking my mind. Because this bothers me here. You're conservative. That's why it bothers you. No, it bothers me that we have a president that cares more about the Ukrainian people than the American people. Made this big rally where he's the only one on the podium, giving a speech in front of a crowd that's not even his own countrymen. I don't even know if they know what he was saying. But ladies and gentlemen, yeah, it was a big one. And then had the nerve to go tell Putin, hey, in this war, I'm going to go ahead and add more sanctions to you. Like I said in the first beginning of this segment, he's telling a man that just suspended a treaty we had with them and to start a new treaty on them to build more nuclear warheads. Now, like I said, we don't know if Russia kept this. It ain't really closely monitored. So we don't know if Russia kept up their end of the treaty to begin with. But one's saying, hey, I'm building up nuclear warheads to put on long-range missiles, and we have a president saying, Putin, stop what you're doing, or I will sanction you some more. I wonder if Vladimir Putin is shaking in his boots. It don't appear to me that he is. While in Poland, Biden made some remarkable claims where, first off, he's going to pay. Now, get this. You, the American citizens, should be upset with this. Says that, well, let me go ahead and make sure. Oh, let's see. I thought I saved it. Oh, let's see. But anyway, I think it's Poland. No. Correction. It's not Poland. Correction. It is Ukraine. The president goes ahead and says he will participate in giving Ukrainian people or their government pensions. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. This comes from Fox News. And part of that $1 billion, remember we talked about in the first segment, the $1 billion or the $500 million more taxpayer dollars going to Ukraine. One is to pay pensions for the military and the government. Ladies and gentlemen, you can't make this stuff. Look, I'm sorry. If you're a leftist and listening to this show, oh, Isaac, you're making that up. I can't make this up. I'm not that creative. I don't have that much creativity in me. You have a president. Oh my gosh. Oh, I'm sorry, folks. I'm flabbergasted. You have a president that's gonna go ahead and pay Ukrainian pensions when half of our citizens can't get Social Security. And remember, Biden is so worried about Social Security that the Republicans are gonna cut it. You find money to send to Ukraine, but you can't find money to fund Social Security? My goodness, man. I'm serious. I wonder why I call him Backwards Joe. Well, we don't have enough money for Social Security. We don't have the resources to send to Ohio and East Palestine to help them poor individuals over there. But we have $500 million we can send to Ukraine and also pay for the government over there. What is wrong with our country? What is wrong with this president? And look, this isn't the first time. Ladies and gentlemen, you remember Joe Biden was fighting about the Second Amendment a while back. He was saying how he don't think Americans should have high capacity magazines. They shouldn't have butt stocks. He mentioned all that stuff. He wanted to pass gun control measures. But this is the same man that sent firearms to Ukraine and told the president, hey, give them to your citizens so they can defend themselves. He defends another country's right to bear arms, but don't defend us. Oh, my goodness, man. I'm sorry, folks. My blood pressure is balling right now. With another note, as I said, kind of funny how Poland could go ahead and get a nuclear plant, but we haven't built one in years. Now, this goes to the point, as I said, with the hypocrisy of Biden. Biden travels halfway around the world, burning billions of gallons, most probably, to go to Ukraine, but we can't have gasoline in our vehicles or use them for our lawnmowers and whatnot. And like I said, with that being said, President Biden announced, wow. Okay, so Biden announces that he's pushing power plants in Poland. Putin is up against the wall. Putin responded to Biden's well, let me go say. I'm trying to find to where. Yeah, so Biden is going to so this is from Jesse Waters. This is a quote from Jesse Waters. So let me get this straight. Biden is going to build nuclear plants in Poland, but we aren't allowed to build nuclear plants here at home. Biden is forcing windmills on us that kill whales and ruin my view, but Poland gets clean nuclear energy with no emissions. Ladies and gentlemen, that's your president, Backwards Joe. Think about this, ladies and gentlemen. He went to Poland and told all their leaders, guys, we are going to help y'all. We are going to help y'all build a nuclear energy plant and with no emissions. None whatsoever. But in the United States, we cannot buy a gas-powered vehicle because they're amping up the prices to push everybody to EVs. Ladies and gentlemen, look, I'm sorry. And look, I'm not trying to disrespect our president. But when he does stuff like this just proved my point throughout the whole show. Ladies and gentlemen, why he's telling Poland, hey, y'all can build nuclear gas plants? Because, see, it helps the Poland people. With no emissions. Hey, there's no strings attached, guys. But America cannot build a nuclear plant in this country because, that's bad for the environment. So apparently Poland don't have that bad of an environment, so they can build and pollute their air. Ladies and gentlemen, this is all a front. I cannot say this enough. This whole trip showed me that Biden cares more about the world and what the world thinks about him than the American people. Who does he put first? It's sad, ladies and gentlemen. And look, and it ended off perfectly. I don't have the video. I wish I did. But Biden walking up steps of Air Force One again, and guess what? Pop, took a tumble. He trips. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm sorry. This is a joke. And like I said, you liberals that are out there that are telling me that, oh, Isaac, you made this stuff up. I cannot make this up. I cannot make this up to save my life. But you have a president that went across the water, well, let's say literally across the world, to tell people we have their back, we're giving you money, and also we're going to build a nuclear plant at your neighboring country. When America can't even get help to a little town in Ohio. Sad, folks. Sad. With that being said, I need to take a break. I'll be right back after this short message from Scott Ford.
Cheers and good on you, boys and girls. My name is Scott Ford, and I have a podcast on Spotify. I would love it if you went over and subscribed to my podcast. It's a talk show. It covers a wide variety of topics. I cover success, motivation, funny stories, topical events, things going on in the world. And I would love it if you went over and subscribed to my podcast. Thank you so much, Isaac. God bless. Enjoy your life.
You're my peace of mind when this old world seems to get me down.
All right, everybody, welcome back to the third and final segment of the Cajun Conservative Show. Man, I'm sorry about the last segment, ladies and gentlemen. Look, I'm not sorry for what I said. Don't get me wrong. It just this upsets me. This upsets me, and I know I'm staying around majority one topic of this show, and I don't normally do my show like that, but I think you as the citizen of this great country needs to realize what is happening. This is crazy. This is, and this has been building up since Monday when I read this. And I read the article that I brought out today. You cannot have this cannot be made up. Isaac, don't you think it's right? Yes, I've been saying this the whole show. I think we need to help countries that are in this circumstance. But my goodness, we have spent, and I heard someone say this today, we have spent more on Ukraine than we did our own military. You remember when everybody was upset that Donald Trump was putting money into the military? And that they thought we were spending way too much money on the military? Yes, we spend that much. We spend maybe more of that on Ukraine. A country that, look, I told you, I have a different opinion about Ukraine now. When it first happened, I came behind this microphone. I said I didn't like what was going on. I think Putin was wrong. I said all this. I was happy that the American people were helping and the American president wanted to help. But now this is getting to a point where there's something going on in Ukraine. I don't know what. And I'm not going to speculate on this microphone. But there's too many coincidences going on now. And Biden is putting way too much money and way too much focus on Ukraine. All I can say, I want to remind the audience, remember, Ukraine is where Biden told that prosecutor, or told Ukraine, if you don't fire that prosecutor that's looking into my son, you're not going to get no money. And by golly, they fired the SOB. You remember, that's a direct quote from Biden. Hunter Biden spent tons of time in Ukraine. What was going on there? Why is the president taking this much interest in Ukraine? With everything else, just not the nuclear treaty that they decided to pull out of. China's about to visit Moscow. Yeah, that's Xi Jinping. I believe that's his name. Is supposed to go to China, Russia. He's going to visit Putin in Moscow to talk over peace deals. Ladies and gentlemen, look, I understand somebody on the left might, Isaac, you're speaking conspiracies. No, I said I'm not speaking of conspiracies here. I'm just saying, in my gut, I feel something's going on. I can't tell you what it is. I can't confirm what it is. I can tell you it's a theory of mine. But ladies and gentlemen, something's brewing up in Ukraine. For a president to take this much interest. And look, I understand Ukraine has weed or whatever. They might, to my knowledge, I don't know what Ukraine benefits Biden. The only thing that he can blame everything on that. Well, the eggs are going up. Well, that's because of the war in Ukraine. Gas is going up. Well, that's the war in Ukraine. And this should ball me. This should raise anybody's temper on this thing. And look, I'm gonna quote my good friend Scott Ford. You know, he said this. A lot of people tell him, "Well, why does it matter? Why are you taking?" Like, especially Scott and every other veteran, thank you for your service. Ladies and gentlemen, this should TO every military person that went ahead and tried to protect this nation. And this president is doing what he's doing. This should TO every service member, former service member, or anyone that loves this country. I didn't serve. I didn't feel that was my calling to go into the military. But ladies and gentlemen, I love this country. And to see what's going on in this country, it bothers me. It bothers me a lot. And it's sad. All right, guys. Don Lemon was in the news. This dude, I don't know how this dude stayed on TV. It's the same thing with The View. I really don't know how they stay on TV. But Town Hall titled their news article on this: sexist Don Lemon bench from CNN. He is a constant distraction. So what happened was this was done on last Friday, and like I said, I didn't get a chance to talk about this. I wasn't in the studio. Let's see. So the 17th. This article was written on the 19th. On Friday, Lemon was forced to apologize to his female colleagues and was scheduled to anchor the morning alongside co-hosts Poppy Harlow and Kathleen Collins. However, by Sunday afternoon, Lemon was removed from the lineup and replaced with another anchor. This goes to the point. Let me see if I can find the. So the week before that, on last Friday, Lemon argued against Holly's call for politicians over 75 years old to be required to have an annual mental capacity test. He ruffled feathers when he said that the 51-year-old Nikki Haley would have a tough time winning the presidency because women are only in their primes during their 20s, 30s, and 40s. So what Nikki Haley was saying, that they should take mental tests to see if they're mentally stable to hold office over 75. Now, Bernie Sanders called that ageist, like sexist, but it was ageist. Like, hey, you're saying bad things about old people. But ladies and gentlemen, when you get older, when you're in your 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, and 60s, your brain is pretty good, isn't? But as you get older into your 70s, 80s, and 90s, you normally, your mental capability starts to dwindle a little bit, unless you do certain things to protect yourself. But going back to Don Lemon made these quotes, and this is a quote: "I'm just stating what the facts are. Google it. Everybody at home. When a woman is in her prime, it says the 20s, 30s, 40s. And I'm just saying, Nikki Haley should be careful about saying that politicians are not in their prime and they need to be in their prime when they serve," Lemon said off air. So basically what Lemon was saying that is, Nikki Haley being 51 years old is stupid. Think about it. Now, he didn't say 50s. He cut it at 40s. Haley is just 51, ladies and gentlemen. And people took that offensive. Now, and this is what I'm going to say about this. I don't watch Don Lemon. Don Lemon goes in the morning anyway. I'm too busy in the mornings. But the thing of it is, Don Lemon is attacking Haley, saying she isn't in her prime and she is not fit to be president of the United States. When you have a man that is 80 years old for tripping over steps to get into Air Force One and running around across the country and saying, hey, I'm going to take care of these people and not my own people. Or say stupid things like at the State of the Union, if the Republican Party goes ahead and pass a bill on a fundamental, I'm going to veto it. And you had the Democrats stand up like trained seals. Hey! What he's vetoing? I don't know. We're against it. Yay! Don Lemon just, this was an insult to Nikki Haley. It was. But Nikki Haley really didn't have to say anything either, because cancel culture took it aside, because following this, he did not appear on CNN this morning. And then this came out this morning, February 22nd, which is this morning, by the Daily Mail. Don Lemon apologized for sexist comments as he returns to CNN. CNN host Don Lemon apologized in a tweet half an hour before returning into the scene alongside his co-host Poppy Harlow, and with the pair failing to mention the controversy in the first hour and a half of the show. Lemon 56 did not comment on his behavior this morning, and got straight back into launching the show with praise for President Biden's speech yesterday as co-host Kathleen Collins remained in Poland to cover the president's trip. So, ladies and gentlemen, he tweeted this out before the show. I appreciate the opportunity to be back on CNN this morning, today, to my network, my colleagues, and my incredible audience. Our incredible audience. I'm sorry. I've heard you. I'm learning from you, and I'm committed to doing better. See you soon. So, ladies and gentlemen, the reason that he is apologizing is because he got under hot water. Because, ladies and gentlemen, in somewhat shape or form, he got hit by the woke culture. Because, see, this is the thing. And look, maybe this is why I'm not for it. Well, correction. I'm not saying I'm not against it either. I'm trying to say this in the right way. I don't want to be kicked off of the anyway. Look. This is maybe. Well, I'm going to say it like this. Maybe we should have a woman president that's a Republican or a woman nominee. Because see, this is the thing about Don Lemon. Don Lemon likes attacking the Republican Party, and he usually gets off pretty all right. But when you start talking about women going in their primes, 20, 30, 40s, and Nikki Haley really didn't have to say much on the matter, and he got backlash for being a sexist, that helps Nikki Haley. Wokeness, and look, I'm against wokeism. I don't like wokeness. But you think about it, Don Lemon got into a lot of trouble because he said she was in her prime, or she passed the prime, which she did. And ladies and gentlemen, now Don Lemon, it's I gotta be quiet. Didn't say nothing about it. But ladies and gentlemen, it's gonna be the same thing though. See, a lot of also on this point, a lot of people are gonna think, oh, Don Lemon, he's gonna get fired. No, he won't. It's going to be like Whoopi Goldberg. Remember when Whoopi went ahead and said something like the Holocaust never happened, or the Holocaust? No, correction. She said that the Holocaust wasn't about race. And you remember the backlash she caught? And the View went on, Whoopi's going to take a 2-week vacation. You notice she was right back on the air, and nothing was covered about it. She said something weeks later after she came back, but that wasn't covered by nobody. And it's going to be the same thing with Don Lemon. Don Lemon says stupid things all the time, but this is the highlights. And now, look, he's not going to get fired for this. He got his punishment. He had to go sit at I think it was Tucker Carlson that announced he had to go to a re-educational class. That's what I call them. They're where they show where you shouldn't have said that. That was offensive. But Don Lemon is right back on the TV. If this was a conservative, he would have been trying to they would have tried to shut him up. let me say it like this. If I would have said something, and I'm a lonely podcaster, and I put this on YouTube, I would get flagged for spreading hate speech. Think about it. And ladies and gentlemen, this is a double standard. This is a double standard. Don Lemon did not get the full effect of cancel culture because he's back now. They're not going to talk nothing about this. And it's sad. It's sad. But like I said, if this was a conservative, if this would have happened to a conservative, you would have been hearing. Look, I'm even taking a step further. If this was Tucker Carlson, people would have been telling Fox News, we don't want to support you because Tucker Carlson called somebody use sexist terms to a woman. And you would have had CNN, MSNBC. You would have had all of them doing this, ladies, and they would have been fighting to try to see who they can cancel fast. But because it's Don Lemon and somebody they love, hey, we're gonna leave him alone. Let me go ahead and make. Man, I got so much more stuff I would like to cover. Not enough time to cover. Let's see. You know what? Since we're on the subject of Nikki Haley, I'm going to go ahead and get that. But I'm going to have to cover these stories back. It's, like I said, there's a lot of stuff that I have. Trump welcomes Nikki Haley into the 2024 race. The more the merrier, the president said. The president did make a comment. Well, the former president did make a comment where he said, yeah, she broke her promise where she said she would never run against me, but the more the merrier. See, the more people that get in there, and then they had another guy that came in there. Man, I'm trying to find his name. I probably took it off my list. There is one more. He's a tech guy that he entered into the race. So Trump wants more people. So at least right now on the Republican side, there's about 3 people running. Ron DeSantis did not answer, but I'm shocked with it. This is why I'm bringing this up, because last time I was in the studio, I went ahead and said that Nikki Haley probably would have to fight Trump. And it's still early in the race. He's saying, look, more the merrier. She wants to run, let her run, whatever. He ain't saying that about Ron DeSantis. I think he sees Ron DeSantis more of a threat than Nikki Haley. But as we get closer, she might still have to fight. But it was surprising that Trump went ahead and said, yeah, more the merrier. She's in there. So, man, we got so much more to cover. Unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to have to call it wraps. Unfortunately, my time has run out for the time I have scheduled to be in the studio. You know what? I'm going to cover a couple of these things later on. I'm going to keep them in my books so we can go ahead and cover. But with that being said, I do want to thank you for listening to the Cajun Conservative Show. It's always an honor and a blessing to be with you here. I do cherish this time to where I can come and record, and you, the listener. You know, I don't know, I have an estimate of how many people are listening, and I want to thank every single one of you that decide to take time out your busy day to listen to this show. A lot of people ask me why I do it, and I tell them, look, it's fun to do. I have fun standing behind a microphone and talking. I love to talk. I tell people that all the time. I'm Cajun. If you watch on the YouTube channel, I'm moving my hands all the time. But I love to talk. I love talking political stuff. I love talking biblical stuff. And, this right here, we have paid for materials and all this stuff. Lights, soundboard, mics, headphones, cameras. We've done all that. And a lot of people say, well, that's an expensive hobby. Yes, but I love doing it. And I always tell people, like a lot of people that go fishing. I go fishing, but I go to my local hardware store or my local grocery store or whatever. Give me some worms. I put a worm on the hook and I throw it out there. I see people. I know one of my friends. He's big into fish and has a over the water lure, has a under the water lure, has some on the lure that can go this and do, and it gets expensive. But I'm just gonna say this. I enjoy it. They enjoy it. If you enjoy it, do what you need to do to enjoy yourself in that sense. And that's why I do that. And look, I love hearing your feedback. I have people that comment on my videos all the time on TikTok, on YouTube, and all that stuff. And some of them are not nice, but some of them tell me, as one lady told me one time, keep fighting the faith, and that's what I'm doing. And I just want, with all that being said, the reason I said this is because I enjoy y'all. I enjoy doing this, yes, but at the same time, I appreciate you taking time out your busy day to listen to the show. It is a blessing. It is an encouragement to me, and I'm hoping I can do something with this one day. And with that being said, I want to thank you for listening to the show. Please do me a favor. Hit the subscribe button if you have not yet. Please tell a friend. Text it out to a friend. Email a friend. Go ahead and like the Facebook page, the TikTok page, the Twitter page, the Truth Social page. Go ahead and like it all. Let's get over. Let's make the Cajun Conservative go viral. And I just want to tell you, remember, Jesus Christ is King and He's coming back. And He's coming back soon. So with all the problems in the world, don't be faint of heart, because Jesus has already overcome the world. If you know Him as your Lord and Savior, you're going to be in heaven one day, and you won't have to worry about this world system no more. And if you don't know Jesus, you can just email me at thecajunconservative5@gmail.com and let me know that you are thinking about making Jesus your Savior and heaven your home. And I'll find a way to reach out to you and tell you how to do that. With that being said, thank you for listening to the show. Until next time, be blessed, be encouraged. Let the Lord bless you and keep you, make His face shine upon you. Until next time, be blessed, be encouraged. We'll see you on the next episode.
And He is the open door. He said that Jesus Christ has risen. And He is the open door.